Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Timberborn with me, Hollowpine Omega and Hollowpine. So a few days have passed between episode 1 and this one, and we have been a really busy settlement full of beavers. So what happened? Well, first of all, I have actually advanced a little bit when it comes to our science. We now have a few new buildings that I will go through, but before I jump right there, I want to mention that we have been really good when it comes to water. There is not a single area that would be without water, so our plan worked exactly as we planned it, even better, despite my initial fumble with the water reservoir that was supposed to be over here, and thus we ran into no problems. That actually allowed us to start a second farm over here, which was just finished. And as you can see, our beavers are currently collecting carrots over here, which is a nice thing for us. We have a almost completed full storage, and the second one is being filled. And despite the beavers actually clearing most of the field, you will see that new places pop up randomly where they... No, I mean, maybe we will see it here. I'm not entirely sure. But they have been busy this whole time. I'm actually... Yeah, see? Like this one just popped up. I'm actually thinking of pausing it and sending our beavers over here to start planting potatoes and sunflowers to make our population a little bit happier. Now, I have actually also started building the houses that I mentioned before. We have them over here, and we have a bunch of them over here, here, and here. Now, I planned it already in a way where we will be able to build more houses on top of these to have a little bit of a compact setup. I think I can actually show you how I plan it right now. So for example, for these houses over here, we're gonna build ones right on top of them with a switched entrance, and we are going to build stairs like this and this. So we'll have 4 houses over here. Same situation here. We are gonna build stairs like this, and we're gonna put a platform here for the beavers to walk around on. And we are going to put... where is the housing? I always fumble up these ones. We're gonna put the houses like this and like this. So they'll have another entrance. Same thing will happen here. We'll just have the stairs over here, and same situation here. So it's good to plan your houses a little bit in advance, the layout and everything, so that you can build on top, because many of the houses that you have that you will see are marked solid in the description allows additional things to be put on top of them, and then you will do good if you take advantage of that. Now, that's about the things that we discussed last time. We are currently building 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 houses. Times 3 is 21, so we will have space for 9 additional beavers. So that's a nice controlled growth of population. The farm I have already mentioned, and now let's get to what's new. So we now have a forester over here. Forester is a building employing 1 beaver who will, in the range that you can see based on these blue lines, so in this range he is going to plant trees or bushes, depending on what you want, in places where you mark them. So you will notice that when I select it here, you can easily see what I'm planting and where. So here we'll have more oaks, which take 30 days to grow, but provide a ton of wood. Here we're gonna have, I think it's the birch. Yeah, birches, which take 7 days to grow, but provide only one wood. And here we have, wait, is that oak as well? I thought that would be pines, but I think I have made a mistake and I'm not planting pines there. So actually that's kind of interesting, and let's change that. Yeah, this is supposed to be pines. It's a good idea to actually have a mix of trees because, you know, in 7 days we're gonna get the Didi, where are you? The birches, so we'll have some wood there. Here we are gonna have pines, which are gonna take a little bit longer but give us more wood, and here we will plant the oaks. In the meantime, we are of course going to harvest the ones that are already here, so it's like an extension to that. Now you need to unlock the forester building. It takes, I think, 30 science, and to construct a forester you actually need planks. Planks are basically logs that went through processing in the lumber mill, which is a building that you get for free, but that one actually requires, and well, let's go with electricity. I think it's called energy, or do they call it direct electricity? No, they just call it power. Yeah, they just call it power, but you know, there's a little electric symbol next to it, so you can call it electricity, whatever you want. Now, power is generated in a number of ways. The easiest and most powerful one is to utilize the flow of a river. You have water wheels here that you can put in the water. You can put a number of them next to each other, and they will generate power based on the speed of the stream. There is a lot of ways, and we're going to play with this later on. How you can actually utilize this. You can narrow the flow of the water to have it flow faster, and you can thus generate more power. However, during the droughts, of course, you get no flow of water, and then, you know, the water wheel is useless. So there is an additional way how you can generate power, and that is through a power wheel, which utilizes a beaver. So a beaver will come here, he's just gonna run around in that wheel, generating exactly enough power as much that you need to power a lumber mill. So that's what I did here. We actually have a couple of planks stored here in the storage. We don't have any logs currently because they are all being used for the construction of the houses. But with the lumber mill, we can actually start thinking about unlocking stairs, which require planks and a bit of logs, and platforms, which require planks itself. So, you know, because of that, I haven't really built up yet. I just prepared everything because, you know, we will need to generate planks. And my goal here was actually to clear out these trees and these trees first, because once the drought ends, we are actually going to flood this entire area. And I was thinking that we're gonna build the aquatic farms exactly as we discussed. We will not have enough space here, but what we can do here is, because we have access, or we will have access to the aquatic farmhouse, we actually have enough science for that right now. We can build it here. You will see that it doesn't allow me to, but because you, if you recall, I mentioned, can build on things that are marked as solid, you could actually build a platform or 3 platforms here and build the aquatic farmhouse on that, which will give the beavers access through the stairs into this entire area, and they can farm there. The same thing is going to happen here. This is why I'm not planting any trees over there, but we will need to build stairs for the beavers to be able to access the water. So the plan, or step 1 of the plan, is actually to clear all of these trees here, which we're almost done with. Now I actually need to unpause this one to have, did I mark them all? Yeah, except for the last one over here. I mean, we wouldn't have to do it, we could just focus on the oaks here, but I just want to be efficient and just clear out all of these trees before we do anything else, before we do, you know, flood the area. So that's that. We're also hitting the limit of what we can actually do here at this point, because we do not have enough beavers for everything, so I have to, you know, pause things and move them around, just shuffle them here and there so that everything is in operation. It's a little bit of micromanagement, but it's good, and I cannot recommend it enough to keep your population low in the beginning. Actually, here we are super lucky with the space. We're gonna basically drown in food and water. You can see that this is already filling up nicely. We have even a lot of berries, so we're doing great. But usually you don't have such a good situation as we do here. So food is your limiting factor, and growing your population and building houses A takes time and resources, so it is a sink of your resources, and B, an explosion of beaver population can boost your efficiency and production, but it can also greatly hurt you, because if you cannot feed your beavers and a famine breaks out and you don't have enough water, which reminds me we'll need to build another water pump here, you will suffer, and you will suffer greatly. And let me remind you that some of the droughts, this one was 5 days, but there can be a 14 or even longer day drought, and at that point, I mean, again, it will be fine. We'll have a huge reservoir here and here even, so, you know, there really is no risk for us. But, yeah, it can get really nasty. We need to rebuild this as well. That's going to be the first step, basically, for us to... Well, actually, that's going to be the only step for us to do this. Because then everything else is going to get flooded. So we just need to make sure that happens before the next drought. I think that the cycle length before the drought comes are actually also randomized. I don't touch the settings for now, but once we get on the challenge maps, we can actually look at it a little bit more closer to make it maybe even more challenging for us. Again, for this experience, I tried to get a map that I haven't played, but that I thought wouldn't be that difficult, you know, that it wouldn't actually have that many things on it that would make things tough for us, so that I can spend time explaining and playing and showing you. Alright, so here you'll see, nice, we actually have beaver happiness threshold. We just achieved 5. That's because everybody is eating and we now have shelter for everyone. So not only did we remove that penalty of 3, but we're actually getting a bonus. So that is really, really nice. I think that gives everyone a speed boost, doesn't it? Yeah, they work faster and they have a speed boost as well. So that's nice. That is nice. Yeah, I think I might actually pause you guys for a bit and have you... Yeah, let's do that. This one up there, and I'm just actually gonna pause you guys and have you work over there. Nicely done. So water will start flowing gradually as it did before. You will see it spreading, which is what we want. So for this cycle, we have a plan to actually flood this area, and the next cycle is gonna be about bad water protection. So I'm gonna try to get rid of this. Now to get that though, we will need to unlock the dams. They're not called the dams. What are they? Floodgates. I always forget the name of these things. So floodgates have 3 types. You have a level 1 or a single floodgate, double floodgate, and triple floodgate, and they are adjustable by the player so that you can let water through or not. As I mentioned, we will need to protect ourselves from bad water here, so we'll need a floodgate. Okay, that actually reminds me though, because we're gonna be flooding this area. Alright, so that actually means we will need to remove this blockage here and put floodgates here as well, because in case of bad water comes through here, we don't want it to pollute our reservoir here, and that is a big risk that could happen. So we need to keep that in mind, that this will also need to be addressed. And we actually do not have any path, so we'll need to build... Jesus, okay, it's getting a little bit more complicated. We'll need to build a path for ourselves through here into here and build... well, an actual floodgate here that we will be able to close and build a dam here, so that if we close it, the water will flow through here. But there is a bad water source, a big one actually here, so we need to be careful not to have it overflow, because it could start spill over this edge into our area. Alright, so you guys are actually done with cutting down here. There's nothing that you can do. There's a couple of trees here that are gonna finish growing within a few days. Alright, so we'll need to... Well, actually, let's pause all of you at this point, because you do not really get anything. Same here. And we are gonna start cutting down trees over here, which was the original plan. Because that's why I actually set up this area. So we have oaks here. That's gonna be a great source of wait, where's the here? So lumberjack flag. So you guys cut the trees down here. I can actually, yeah, they can't even reach this area, so we'll need a couple more lumberjacks here. But for now that doesn't matter because those trees are not ready anyway. And let me just mark all of these for harvest. So the beavers that we stopped from working over there should come here and start working here. And the beavers that were planting here will now work here. They actually planted a lot of potatoes already and some sunflowers, which is nice. We'll need storage for those as well. But as we have enough carrots, it's gonna be fine. Okay, water is flowing again. That's great. Water is doing fine. And we now have 6 extra free beds because we're finishing up the houses. So soon we'll start seeing little beavers popping up here and there, adding to the population. Alright, so this seems really good. What I want to do here is actually I want to remove this one, this little bush. I'm trying to be efficient. This is something that I always struggle with, to have efficient roads. So I want to actually have another passing through here so that food can be transported. I'll probably build more storages in this area and have like a central area for food, which is a little bit of a hassle because honestly we're not really doing good when it comes to... Yeah, see that they started building here, but to actually build there they need to go around, so yeah. But again, I would like to develop this area as a living and construction area because, you know, it's not fertile, so we won't be missing on anything by having our beavers working there. Now, what are you guys... Are you building the dam over here? Alright, I thought that you would be working on something else, but considering we still want to cut down these trees, that's actually fine. So still no child beavers, but we'll see them pop up eventually. So you guys are farming, you guys are doing stuff here. Yeah, you're removing it, good. That means we can now extend the road over here, and we have a connection. Amazing. I'm actually gonna mark this one for removal as well. And we're gonna extend the farms here, the carrot farms, a little bit. Alright, you guys are almost done with the planting here. I just love them, those little hats. That is so cute. The game has an insane amount of, you know, cuteness overload in it. But I love it. I love it. Alright, it might actually be a good idea to start working on this sooner than later as well. You guys, are you working? Yeah, you are. Hey, we actually have a beaver that is jobless. That's interesting. I mean, once we finish this one, he's gonna start working here. But we're really keeping them tight here. Okay, so we've planted everything, so we can pause this and send you guys to the farm here to collect the carrots that have been growing in the meantime. So food basically fixed at this point. Once we get more adult beavers, keeping both of these farms running all the time is going to be a priority for us, so that we have more food than we can deal with, and I'm gonna have to build another water pump over here soon, so that we also have enough water, because well, this one is running all the time and you can see it's full, especially in the morning. A lot of beavers are coming to drink here, so you know, water might become a little bit of an issue if the population grows a little bit. Alright, so let's just put, you can reach that, right? Yeah, let's put a little bit more carrots over here, just for good measure. Alright, so the night has come, and we have our first baby beaver. Boyambi is 0% towards adult, but everybody else, with the exception of Sedamum, who is a little bit unhappy, and Bunjin is probably, he's hungry. Okay, so his happiness dropped to -6. Well, everybody else has nice bonuses. We need to get a little bit more of this stuff around so that you know, we don't have these drops. So I'm gonna actually speed it up now. Decided I'm gonna make this episode as a full-on operation, so you guys can see what's happening. So here they are chopping down these trees, and are gonna start getting a ton of wood from that. I don't think we have any construction growing at this point. Nope, we have a couple of trees over here that we might cut down. But yeah, flooding this area is going to be the next step. Is there any tree? No, there's actually not a single tree here that we would need to wait for. And here we have 2. I actually think we might get this one unpaused and have a beaver cut down these last few trees, and then we're just gonna start rebuilding this. It's gonna be a simple switch. We are going to remove the dams and the levees and just do it the other way around. The dams on the top and the levees on the bottom, which will lead to the fact that this entire area will raise up significantly and we will start seeing significant flooding. So let's do that in this episode. And then I guess we're gonna start unlocking the stairs and platforms, because that is going to be the next step. This is a really nice view from the top there. Alright, so wood should start. Yeah, they're already transporting wood. Do we have any workers at this point? We do have 2. So let us actually break this. Yeah. Alright, do we need anything else before we start flooding this area? Not really. I would really just like to remove this. Alright, there's no goods in stock here. Nothing here. Nothing here. And you're removing the last piece of wood. Alright, so this area is now ready to be flooded. So what we're gonna do here is we're just gonna delete this road here. Alright, you need to go back though. You actually need to go back. Before once I break this, you would get lost there. Alright. And we'll need to recover these. Okay, let's make this as a priority. When you demolish buildings, you get a little bit of rubble back, and the fact that we have actually put it as a priority means that they will now take it away. Alright. I can break this dam, and I can build a levee here and a dam on top of it. But because it's night, they will actually not do anything with it at this point. But yeah, we're getting a decent amount of logs here. What are you using the logs for? We're probably supplying... No, we are not. So is it stuck in here? Yeah, keep them in here. Alright, so sleep, my dear beavers. Enjoy your rest. What's up with this first? And drink, everyone. Seeing that I actually removed all of the... And someone is probably still thirsty. No, it's the carrots. Alright. So guys, build me this. That's gonna be our priority goal for today. I think we should have 3 workers now, right? 3 builders. No, we have 2. Alright, and hey, we got another child. Razin. Okay, you're growing faster because you are... Next year is gonna be 10. Alright. That's not gonna happen anytime soon, so we don't have to worry about it. Alright, so this is almost done. When will you guys grow? You take 5 days and the potatoes take 6 days. Alright. That's fine. But yeah, there are more and more logs and planks, so we're not really suffering much here. Alright, so the levee is finished. You should see immediately that the river, that was a little bit of like what would you call it? A bump in the river. I actually sped through it, but you will see that the water is now faster here and it's a little bit slower here. That's because we blocked it on one side. So you know, to equalize, the water has to go faster here at this point. So let's speed it up again. Let's have the beavers work on this. And we are gonna do this one. And build a levee here. Wow, we have 37 logs here, man. That's actually crazy. It's gonna take me a while to remove all of the rubble. But it's good that the game gives you, you know, stuff like that to work with. What's up with the shelter, huh? I don't like the fact that it's oscillating between 4 and 5. It's showing that we are a little bit inefficient in some places. Okay, you know what? I'd much rather have you as workers here. Yes, so that we build faster, because the drought might come any time now. And then I'm gonna make you into inventors. Yeah, they're removing the piles instead of working. It's actually fun. Oh wow, we actually, yeah, we have a lot of logs here. So come on, build a dam. We want this to be done. I would prefer if they actually use the, you know, use the resources to build the thing right next to it, but the AI has its limits. So the last thing we're gonna do here is levee and the dam as well. And we can just speed it up and have them construct this. And we will end the episode once that is done, because we will see significant flooding. Okay, but you can already see the river is much faster in this area, because it's trying to, you know, make up for the pressure of the water. And once we lock it, we will see gradual flooding in this entire area, which is gonna kill these trees, unfortunately, but we don't really care. We got enough over here. We're still generating a little bit of science. Okay, 3 small... Oh, we actually lost 2 adults due to old age. Yeah, Sedamun died of old age and Teja. Yeah, so we're actually reducing the amount of beavers that we have available right now. It's not great. It's gonna make things a little bit more difficult for us. Hopefully you guys will grow fast. Yeah, you're already... okay. Already growing, so that's fine. We're doing good on food and everything else. Water is fine too. Okay, let me pause this so we get an extra worker. Okay, how far are we with this one? Okay, let's make it a priority. No, you started removing the logs instead. I should have told you to work on this. Alright, so here we go. There is a blockage here now, and we are gonna start seeing it affect everything. But because we don't have the dam above it yet, we will see just, you know, like a small spillage, but it will still be able to flow over the level here. Yeah, see, it's already filling, and now the water is just spreading. But I think that at this point it will... yeah, you see, it dried out here, which is not an issue because we don't have anything. But yeah, now as it spilled a little bit and overflowed, it started flowing over again. But as we finish the dam, it will have to raise to this level, which will mean it has to flood this entire area first before it can actually be going through that little point and these ones. So it is our first bigger construction, but it's gonna be very nice as the time is gonna go by. But then we need to address immediately what we're gonna do here with a possible bad tide, because that one is gonna just spoil this entire area. We need to... how does it go here? You just flow down here and you go this way. So what we will need to do is build a dam. No, not a dam, but we will get the floodgate here and have it flow through there, and we'll build probably a single floodgate. We could actually build a simple dam here, but the floodgate here, because we don't care if it flows over here. If this is opened, it will be flowing that way. It will never have the chance to go over. Alright, so this area is flooding nicely. It still needs to go higher. Ah, it's actually flooding this one nicely despite the dam not being finished. Okay, we're back to 5. Alright, now we're gonna finish it. And we'll see it block this completely. So the water here will stop falling very soon, and this area will arise. Hey! Ozon is actually enjoying himself here. They have a meter called Wet Fur, which makes them happy. And I see that they actually are taking the opportunity to do that without anything from us. Yeah. So here, there's no flooding or no flow of water through here until this entire area floods. And the trees are gonna die because they are being flooded. Well, it's just a couple of trees. It's nothing serious. Alright, so the workers, I think, are now done. They have nothing to do. So let me just close the inventor huts so that we get them working here. So that is a little bit more important. And I think what we should do next is I should unpause these two as well and start making some planks. Do we have... yes, we do have a lumberjack here working. So we have a source of wood and planks, and here is the beaver running running this. Hey, that's actually nice. I never had them do this before, or I don't remember them just, you know, going for a swim on their own. That's so cool. I like that. Alright, so we're generating more points, which is great. That means that we can get the floodgates. They're very expensive. I'm gonna go, and it's the usual way how people do this, I'm gonna go straight up for the third one because it is way more effective if you can get this one rather than, you know, the cheaper ones, which will not be that useful. So we're gonna go straight up for the triple floodgate and use it everywhere where we can. But later on we're gonna unlock the more efficient ones so that we don't waste too much wood on stuff if we don't have to. Alright, so I think that the water... No, it's still not going through. Damn. Alright. We're never gonna run out of water here, man. That's gonna be amazing. Okay, let me just use the builder here. Oh, we actually have none. Alright. Why do we have 4 young beavers? Ustititi is the newest addition. Alright. Are they doing that maybe because of the road? That might be a way how to think about it. But we will need to, and that's going to be a little bit of an issue. We'll have to build a path through here. Though actually the beavers can go through water, they do not care. So I might just try to capitalize on that and have them just build stairs on this side and not have them go over the water, because this shouldn't really affect them at all. Oh, we don't have water. Damn. See, this is the issue that you can, you know, one moment of not paying attention and our beavers are already thirsty. Many of them, so yeah. That's not how you should be doing this. Alright, but we're generating planks. We'll need those for stairs. We'll have to build stairs up here so that we can actually start cutting down these trees and working on this area. Again, remember, what we're gonna do here is gonna be, we're gonna build, I guess, a floodgate, like 2 floodgates over here. Triple floodgates, there's 3. Alright, so I could do 1, 2, 3, and then a levee here at the same height, allowing us basically to direct the bad water when it comes through there. And then a limited amount of levees, as little of them in this area, a triple floodgate over here and closing it off. So that we have a small reservoir for ourselves for later, which we can use here already, but also that we have the ability to divert the water in case we need to. Because, I mean, realistically, with this amount of water that we have here right now, we are never gonna run out. And even if we have a small reservoir over here, yeah, I mean, you know, 5, we'll be okay with 5 to 10 days here, no problem. Alright, so did this? Yes, the water started flowing again. So this is the new landscape that we have built for ourselves. I'm actually really happy with that. Really happy with that. I will actually end the episode here, and in the next one I'm gonna come back probably either when the drought hits us or slightly after. We will need to build the stairs over here up, which is why I'm already working on the planks. We're gonna have to build a couple more houses over here, but you know, we have still 7 free beds, so there is no hurry in that area. And yeah, I guess the next goal for us is really to get more beavers so that we can expand our operations. And of course, unlock the triple floodgate. Now you have to keep in mind that this one is really expensive. Each one costs 30 logs and 15 planks. So just for these 3 and these 3, we will need... Well, that's gonna be expensive. That's gonna be 180 logs and 90 planks. We're nowhere close to that. I'm actually ran out of trees here almost. But yeah, there's a lot of them here, so we can cut down these ones and use them for it. But we'll have a little bit of an issue with trees for the next couple of days because we still haven't planted all of them here. once these oaks grow up, are gonna be great. But for now, the fact that, you know, we're gonna have to wait for them to grow up is gonna limit our operations. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this episode. It was, you know, without any skips, but I wanted to show you how I operate in this area. And the next phase will be, you know, making sure we can control the water over here and water over here. So yeah, I'll see you in the next episode where we are going to start our work on that.